Yeah, my day has been quite good and trying, brother. So I got some idea and some brother of us with me here, and he's called Mr. Stuart. Yeah, and I thought of it is gonna be a good person to see that we can initiate the system run so fast. Yeah, is actually best is a student at one of the best universities in the country.
Awesome.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a student at one of the best universities. Yeah,
Yeah, yes.
yeah,
And he's a student leader as well, and he's my brother. So I got time to study with him when I was attending the other lower classes. Me, I didn't get chance to reach this far.
sure.
Yeah, but he got chance to do that. And he's a student leader.
Okay,
Yeah, and he's able to see that he can communicate to a population of students.
okay, great, great, great. So,
Yeah, and
so
therefore, I thought it wise that I can connect with him since he's able to see that he can communicate with a population of students that is so we can have him to join us and see that we can initiate this system run so fast.
yeah, GPMS. Yeah, so talking about
Yeah, very
GPMS right now.
okay.
Cool.
So now this is his place, and now I got time to come and meet him at the university. So this is his place where he stays, and this is the university where we are.
Okay,
So this is his room, and this is his place where he stays. So I thought it ways we can call you, and we get in touch with him so he can help us initiate, since this is an institution of a big population.
awesome, awesome.
Yeah, and I actually explained to him about the system, and he saw the system very wonderful,
Yes,
and he's willing to see that he can communicate to the rest of the students in the university, because this university where we are right now, I'll get a chance to see. I can make a video call during that time. I make you see around and see the whole university. It is a big university, and it is the first university in this country.
right. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you can search about it. It is called Makerere University.
What's it called?
Makerere University.
You can message me. I'll tell you what.
You
Just message. Yeah, just
yeah.
send me a message. Yeah, and then I've got it.
Let
Yeah,
me let me
that's
send
great.
it to the chat.
I can look that up. That's cool. So yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, that sounds awesome. And I think Stuart, if you've got basically, are you on Facebook? I presume you probably are.
For me,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm there.
yeah, yeah. So
So you,
we can connect on Facebook. Obviously, love for you to connect to the Facebook group for GPMS as well. We've
Yeah,
obviously got a YouTube channel. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but there's quite a few videos. I've done a couple of uploads just talking about GPMS and a few things. But then there's Rick, who's the guy who's behind the creation of the platform originally. Beautiful soul, very deeply connected with Father, God, Prime Creator, basically. Whatever you might think about what that is for you, he is, when you speak to him and you kind of connect with him on another level, you kind of see that this guy he's kind of like a modern day Jesus, really.
yes,
And he's not alone in terms of his level of ascension. In the sense that he says that there's probably about 4 million people on the planet that are at his level. In terms of their spirit, divine connection. Let's say that. But of course, we're all divinely connected. It's just where we are on our journey. So it's since I've been connected with him and with the group of GPMS people, I've already developed a lot spiritually in my own sort of ascension process, really. But yeah, so awesome. I've got a couple of things to share with you as well. But yeah, do you want
yes.
to carry on? Was there anything else that you wanted to share about what your plan is? I mean, would you like me to sort of speak
Uh,
to anybody on your behalf, or?
uh, Maybe he would give me a work plan of how we are going to be talking about this system, and maybe I think that would be better, and also getting some emails from you.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So,
Yes.
so basically, Wanderer. I don't know if he's sent this to you yet, but one of the first exposures Wanderer had. I mean, apart from I don't know what he saw on my profile before he connected, but I sent him a transcript of a
Yes.
live video that Rick did, which is the first exposure I had of GPMS, which I saw him about sort of April of this year, and Rick basically goes into depth about this. System, explaining it very clearly, very concisely, exactly what it is, why it's important, why every single voice is important, why it's actually such a simple system and a simple choice for everyone to make, and actually how the implementation process will be seamless. So that, you know, what we're talking about is obviously huge change. And, you know, there's obviously many people worldwide that are very, very ready to see the vision immediately and be ready to accept it and give their agreement to it immediately, because they recognize that the world needs this change, and actually it's a beautiful thing. There are some people, and I would say a lot of people who, certainly in the West, the ones that are maybe very much more institutionalized, they've been through education academically, they've worked in corporations and careers. A lot of those people may have slight blockages as to accepting or being ready for it just right now, because they would sort of think, you know, this kind of change isn't necessarily possible, because they're thinking we have to be run by governments, because they've been, you know, they've been served quite well by the old system for a period of time. So they're kind of, it's almost like they're kind of in love with their kidnapper, if you know what I mean, which does happen. But it's also just, it is such a shift in terms of what we're talking about, but this is the time of great change. And, you know, the governments around the world, and the people at the top of governments around the world, they are moving and shifting society in the ways they wish to do it. But of course, we know that they've had the opportunity to do what we're doing with GPMS for, you know, a long time. And actually, if they really wanted to do what was right for the people, they could do it in 2 days, you know. So this is down to us as the people to do it. And so that's why obviously you're hearing about it from Wandera, who heard about it from me, and we're connecting, but we are uniting and we're all coming together. And this is what the planet needs, you know, just an agreement to create abundance, to create love and unity with everyone, because we're all equal. The value's intrinsically within us, you know, not in money or gold or silver. And once we recognize that, and that's recognized across the world, then it just shifts everybody's consciousness to a point where, you know, we can really reach an abundant place where we're kind of been living in a hell on earth, even if people haven't experienced extreme hardship and terror like many do. But the fact that that terror goes on, and to such a degree, is really the evidence that we are living on a hell on earth, because it shouldn't be like that for anyone. But so many obviously are facing that, and that's a growing problem. So what we're bringing is essentially a heaven on earth scenario, but it all comes with just a choice. It's a very simple choice. We can create it. So I think probably what might be a good idea is that before you maybe even start speaking to your friends and your peers and stuff in the university, is that we connect maybe on a few more calls, and maybe if you like, you can speak with a couple more other members of GPMS, including Rick. So, I mean, have you got an idea of how many people that you might be able to reach out with this concept, you know, and sort of what kind of time frame you could work towards with doing that?
There would be multiple, because it's a big community. Depends on how much effort you're putting in.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, this is the thing. So for me, like, you know, what we actually are actually able to demonstrate is actually, if everybody was with an open mind and a heart to what we're doing, then actually we could get this done very quickly. In fact, you could do it within 21 days, right? And the reason being is just mathematically, you know, if everybody just connected 3 people to this information, this platform, and they got it immediately and they wanted it and they agreed to it and they shared it with 3 other people, then just by multiplying 3 by 3 becomes 9, then 27, 81, and then 21 times it becomes 8 billion because of the multiplication. And all anybody would have had to have done is share it with 3 people. Of course, it doesn't happen like that. You know, for me though, I've been sharing it. Obviously, I've probably reached out to, you know, myself, probably, I don't know, into the thousands, you know, in one way or another, like with videos I've shared that have been seen. And a lot of people are giving their agreement to it. And, you know, there's not so many people that are becoming what we would say a contributor, where they're actually actively saying, right, okay, I want to make sure I'm going to be a guardian to ensure the deliverance of this. So Wandera is obviously a guardian. I get the sense already from even just talking with you and seeing you, and the fact that you've got this already is actually, you know, a strong indication you're also a guardian, because when you see the plan and you get the plan and you know it's the right plan and it's right for the people, you know, this is obviously, you're obviously divinely connected to know it already. I actually personally resonated with this plan, you know, immediately within minutes of hearing Rick talking about it, because I actually had a bit of a premonition about this when I was much younger. I knew we needed to have a global voting platform to get the agreement and consensus of the people worldwide on important issues. And I knew that we would have to shift eventually away from money altogether, because money is the root of all of the evil. It's all of the manipulation over people, because whoever's got more of it or more resources than anybody else has the power to then get people to carry out, horrible, nefarious acts of evil, basically. So, but when you create wealth for everyone and everyone's as rich as, say, Bill Gates, we're all just contributing in being able to create a beautiful planet and harmonize with everyone on it. And we can untap all of the technology to do that. So I mean, I'll send you the transcript. That'll be one of the first things, or Wandera can forward you the transcript. You can read through that. And that might be one of the good things to share with people. Because when you try talking about it, obviously I've been, with GPMS for a while, and Wandera's obviously been listening to me and talking to me for a while. You obviously, you over the time, you get better at talking about it, and there's certain ways of putting things that really do kind of impact people when you're talking about it. But it's actually a lot easier for people to digest when they read it, and also it's a much easier way for them to think, well, I can share that. If you start trying to explain something to someone and it's like, they're only getting half or fragments of the picture, and they've got questions already coming up in their mind that are making them have doubts. Certainly this is maybe more of a problem in the West than possibly where you are. I think your communities generally are more connected and more open anyway to things. But just sharing obviously something that they can read is just a good way to do it, because then you're just teaching them something that's very simple for them to do to other people, and then they can share it. And that's how you'll get the mathematics of growth. It's just the exponential growth that will happen. So yeah, but we can connect on other calls and stuff. That'd be great. So yeah, was there anything you wanted to add, Wandera, to that?
Yeah, not much. Just that the best part I would inform about him, that he's also good in computing. So he's able even to see that he can initiate more people to support this using a computer. So he has that knowledge, is best at that.
Awesome.
So you can also look at that as an opportunity to see you can also run this so fast.
Okay, cool. Well, one of the first, sorry, go on. I was just going to say, one of the first things that you could do, Stuart, would be to go online and give your agreement if you haven't done it already. So it's a very simple process. Wandera can show you what it is. Basically, the information it's asking for is really only your first name, your surname, an email address. You don't have to give your telephone number. And then it's your age, but not your date of birth, just your age, whether that's like 28 or I don't know. How old are you? What's your age?
Me?
Your age
21.
is what? What's that?
Me?
Yeah, your age. Yeah. How old are you? Your age?
You're asking Wandera. You're asking him.
No, I'm asking you, Stuart. I know Wandera is 30. Yeah, how old are you, Stuart?
25.
25. Cool. So
yeah.
So basically you only have to put 25, and then there's a place where you put your signature, but you don't have to put a signature. I mean, it's all self-explanatory. If you read it bit by bit, it's very straightforward. But the signature that people give, most people will just do a heart. They won't actually do a proper signature, because that doesn't matter. What it is, it's the energetics behind it to show that you were there, and that and then when you do that, and when people do that, and they know what they're agreeing to, and you can see the actual decree is listed about every man, woman, deserves, all of this stuff, and then obviously the rights, the freedoms. It's very uplifting, because you're already contributing with your own voice to the creation of this new system, and it does something energetically, because I won't go into too much detail, but everything is energy, everything is vibration, right? And obviously we've got the yin and yang, so you've got the positive vibration, you've got obviously the negative vibrations, but what we're doing is we're raising the vibration of the planet and of the people on it, because we're now creating something that is obviously restoring hope and faith in people's hearts, which has been lost, so it's doing something already. So as the numbers start to grow, which you can see on the website, you'll find that more and more people, as they've been agreeing and they're coming together, sharing this, they're already starting to feel happier, because they know what we're bringing, and then it already starts to reduce crime. It already starts to make people just connect and start feeling in a place of love more, and not fear, because we're living in a place of fear a lot with all, especially all the propaganda, the media, everything going on around the world that's bad. But once we actually bring this new system in, very quickly the whole planet's going to be able to heal. One of the things I want to share with you, Wandera, is what I've been working on to do with like contacting my clients about my other project. So we can have a look at that. I'm not sure how much time we've got. We can start on this one, but these Zooms that I've got on my account is only 40 minutes, and so we might need to open up another meeting just to sort of finish. How are you for time? You okay? You okay with time, Stuart?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so yeah, should we get into that? Should we have a quick look at that? Do you want to take a look?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. So obviously, you know that I've helped Wandera recently with the orphanage. I presume, Stuart, are you aware of that?
Which information?
Yeah, are you aware that I've helped Wandera with the orphanage fairly recently?
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously what we're now talking about is trying to do something with, trying to help the orphanage rise up out of that difficult stage. And I've been reading through the proposal that Wandera's put together, which is great. Something else that is kind of integrated with something I've been talking with him about. I had a project as well that I started to work on before I came across GPMS about 2 years ago. I've got like a carpet cleaning business specializing in cleaning carpets and tapestry for quite well-off people generally in London and sort of around the London area in England. And I've also had another interest in another business which is to do with cannabis. You're familiar with cannabis? Marijuana? Weed that people smoke?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's something here that's it's not a drug, but it's from the cannabis family of plants, and it's actually it's in the UK and in Europe and the US. There's basically compounds in these plants that basically are very good for your health, but they don't get you high. It's now recognized that there's two different plants in this family. You've got one which is marijuana, which is where you can get high and you're like, yeah, man, I'm stoned. The other one is industrial hemp, which has basically got lots of different uses and actually will be part of the solution to healing the planet. But it's actually got medical things about it. And so I've got a number of projects that I'm bringing together to actually basically help create awareness about GPMS with my clients, but also to actually open their hearts to actually getting involved in some other projects that can hopefully generate some money for causes. So I can't dictate to them what causes I want them to contribute to, but what I want to do is actually, even though they're wealthy, I want to basically give them projects that they can get involved with and help generate money so that they can give more money to causes. Because a lot of people would give more money if it's not coming out of their own pocket, but a lot of people, even when they're wealthy, they still are thinking about what's going on with everything going up. So I'll quickly share what I've been doing anyway. So I'm going to share my screen. This is just a letter that I've started, or an email that I've started to construct to write to my clients, because I've got quite a few clients. I've got maybe 1,000 clients that I can reach out to. What percentage of those I will have any kind of really receptiveness from about this, I don't know. But this is not something that I'm guaranteed to even have success with. But this is what I'm going to be proposing to them. So it just says, I'm writing to you and all my clients with whom I've conducted business over the years to invite you to consider some exciting prospects, which with your participation, we can achieve the following: create local jobs in Southwest London, Surrey and Sussex, that's near where I am, initially, and then worldwide, deliver great improvements to overall health to millions of people worldwide, create added wealth to millions of people worldwide, create free flow capital to fund charitable causes that, unless we act, will perish along with those people, animals and alike that they have been created to support. Deliver hope and abrupt positive change to all people worldwide in all respects, physically, mentally, spiritually, collectively. How will we achieve this? Well, with 3 existing projects, 2 of which are companies, including my carpet cleaning business and another I've been aligned with and exploring for the past 4 or 5 years, and the other being a non-profit, non-government-based organisation, a people's movement of change to implement a new all-inclusive system via the very first completely transparent worldwide referendum. And that's obviously GPMS that I'm talking about there. So from the three mentioned organizations, we'll be able to create many breakaway companies in the short term to produce employment and increase wealth to people in many countries worldwide, to prop up the economy by increasing people's ability to weather the inflation, all whilst producing sustainably green product that merely by growing, I need to edit this, drastically heal the planet from problems such as CO2, nitrogen and other greenhouse gases, as well as cleansing soil affected by degradation. One of the projects, the company that I've been aligned with and investigating the industry of for the past 45 years, will enable all of those that participate to significantly benefit personally, financially, and biologically, thus enabling each participant to personally, without much time and effort, will be able to generate capital that you and they may use to 1, increase one's own disposable income, 2, increase or begin to give some disposable income regularly to one or more causes of your choice, 3, gain extra capital to invest, should you so wish, in our future projects, which in the old system is changing, but would be a major fossil fuel replacing industry worth trillions. Through a simple strategy and an open heart and mind and the willpower to make a simple choice and take action following a very simple plan, including step 1, forwarding a copy of this email and following up to all you feel guided to do so, those who claim to be honourable and care for the well-being of others. In order for you to take this proposal seriously, and it certainly is in everyone's interest to do so with the challenges we face socially, economically and climatically, you will need to review material and very importantly with an open heart, mind and with love, hope and excitement for what we're doing. Inventors and creators of all things all have one thing in common, a mindset of determination and belief in the success of their creation. And what you're being invited to participate in is not a project in which you will be a lone ranger. On the contrary, you'll be with what will become a huge collective, and your part in the future deliverance of what these projects will become will be something for you and your peers to be truly proud of, as we will be healing the world and the people of much of the unnecessary pain and suffering, restoring faith in humanity with a revived joy for thriving on the planet Earth. So that's just my kind of letter that I've kind of put across to sort of preempt it. I'll probably add in a little bit more because I'm going to sort of just tell them where they can go to the website to look at what I want them to look at firstly, and then sort of going on from there. This website here, which I've shown you briefly, Wandera, you can see I've integrated it with the Global People's Monetary System. So obviously this is a website which is teaching people, educating people all about CBD and hemp. So hemp is from cannabis, and rather than going into the detail of that with you now, Stuart, you can obviously have a look at it and you can learn about it yourself, because what I was just looking at, Wandera, was that there is an Israeli company that's partnered up, I think, with somebody who represents one of the charities. I can't remember, Red Cross, I think it is, a Red Cross charity, maybe a CEO of that organization, to actually grow medical marijuana in Uganda. So obviously there's going to be a massive market for this cannabis in Uganda and in Africa generally, but the law is very, very strict there at the moment. And in order to actually even start farming it, apparently you need about $5 million, you know, just because of the licensing, and they want that kind of money. But it's a huge market. And what I'm proposing with my organization, while I'm teaching them about this, is we've got a partnership with a company that's an American company basically, and they supply CBD products as well as other health products. And it's just an online. Now these products, they're not available in Uganda. We can't distribute them to Uganda. So what I'm trying to do, connect people to an opportunity to make money here in America, in UK, and they can actually then make money to support causes. Some, I hope, will, like me, want to support causes like, you know, orphanages over in Uganda, you know, but some of them may not. But with success of them doing this, I'll have success with money, because I'll have a huge team that will grow, and that will create income and extra income for me to be able to, you know, support a little bit further, you know, of course, God's Grace Orphanage, as well as potentially others as well. So, and then we can obviously really work towards, I was going to say, with the chicken idea and the hens that you've got, what would be best is for you to actually be feeding those hens hemp seed. So the seeds from cannabis, from hemp, are one of the most nutritional seeds that you can feed any animal. And, you know, when they used to grow hemp and cannabis, which used to be grown at wartime, because you couldn't fight wars like Second World War, First World War, all the wars in history, that we know of pretty much couldn't have happened without hemp, because they use the material for like different fibers and stuff. And lots of the livestock used to be fed hemp seed. And so it's so nutritious with amino acids. It's really good for you as a food. And hemp itself, although it's got this industrial application, you can use it for food. You can eat it. And it's got all of this nutrition, like I say, in the seed, but even in the flour, it's like, you know, potentially it's got good nutrition. So that will help reduce malnutrition in your peoples if we can actually get something going over there with that regard. So anyway, so this is just showing the shop where people that over here can buy and they can make money selling these products through this simple enterprise. So yeah, basically I've got the 4 videos here. So I've got your one here, Wandera, where I'm obviously, you know, talking to the doctor. I've got our partnerships where I'm talking about, you know, this is again part of my proposal to my clients. This is where they can see about how they can make money. You know, again, I'm talking about this is for the people here, and this is where they can potentially, you know, with success, with actually everybody following a very simple system. What I'm creating here is something to, you know, basically appeal to people that have money. They've got no reason not to be able to financially get involved in this and do it. It's very simple and it's very low cost anyway, for even people that aren't wealthy that can access this in the UK and in Europe and the US. But if everybody's successful, and just by the mathematics we talked about earlier, very quickly people can be earning $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. That's the kind of opportunity that this company offers to people that take it seriously. But in most cases, you know, you normally in this kind of business only have a few people that are successful because they are good at getting people to get involved in the project, but most of those people give up and they don't actually have the application and the determination and the willpower to actually work it and make it successful. And because, you know, there's so many businesses out there, a lot of people don't necessarily in the past like this kind of operation where you're actually often approaching friends and family about getting involved in a project where you can make money together, because there's a bit of a stigma to do with that. But now with actually the current times where the need and the cause is so important for everybody to increase wealth so that they can, you know, not be worried about the price rising of everything, people's consciousness should be shifting and they should be more open to actually looking at something like this, especially when you present it in the right way. So that's what I'm optimistic about now, is that we can actually maybe start to have something special here going with it. So when people scroll here, they can see like big money curing the planet. So I've got a page here that's talking about becoming farmers of this hemp and this cannabis, you know, because in the Europe and the UK, it's more easier to become a farmer of this stuff. You still have to pay licensing fees, but it's nothing like what it is in Uganda. Uganda at the moment seems to have still a confusion about the difference between marijuana, which is what gets you high, and hemp, which is just an industrial plant, which has got lots of different uses. But the World Health Organization actually, have been spoken to, and they're actually responsible for changing the laws around the world. They're speaking to the countries because the medicine that can come from hemp itself, which is non-psychoactive, non-addictive, it's not a drug, it's just a nutrition that we don't get anywhere else, but actually regulates the body in every single way, basically. It regulates your blood sugar, it regulates your sleep, your mood, your appetite, your hormone production. It basically improves overall wellness. So it's an incredible discovery that will probably save more lives than surgical technique, because actually you're improving the cause, you're actually tackling the cause. So there's a huge market here to occur actually in Africa anyway with this in the future. If I can get some of my clients that have money to see this side of it, they can get involved in this other project with the view to make some capital to actually get into farming, and not farming just in UK and Europe, but in Africa. We could actually get that funding potentially for 5 million, if that's what we need, potentially over there, because the market is going to be huge in Africa and it's going to save a lot of lives, potentially, create a lot of jobs as well. So again, it's another part of the big solution. This industry, just to let you know, with hemp, is likely to be $1 trillion industry. And I'll tell you why, because if you look on here, I've got blogs which you can read about the medical benefits of it. So this is really a very good introduction to learning all about the benefits of cannabis medically, and that's including the CBD, which comes from cannabis, but it doesn't have any high. It's just one of its nutrients. You've got the history of hemp that is really interesting, because then you see that for thousands of years they use this plant, and it should never have been made illegal to grow it. But it's to do with the conflicts of interest financially with big industrial tycoons like the oil companies like Rockefeller, Standard Oil, and basically paper tycoons, because you can replace, for example, all paper from trees with paper from hemp, and it's completely sustainable. It grows like 4 times a year. It's better at cleaning the air of carbon than trees. It's got so many uses. There's about 25,000 products that can come from hemp. So if I just show you that why hemp here, okay, so on this page here, you can actually watch a documentary from the 90s, which is also very interesting, but I've got little short clips. So you've got this one, which is about why hemp plastic, why hemp paper, why hemp fuel. You can literally use biofuel. You can use this in diesels almost immediately. There's something that you need to put in it with the diesel to make it a bit more runny, but you can grow hemp. And there's somewhere else on this site a video about Henry Ford, and in the 20s he was supplying biofuel to about 25% of Midwest America from the hemp that he grew. Henry Ford was growing about 10,000 acres of hemp before this alcohol prohibition in the 20s. So there's not so much I can tell you about this. So I'm just giving you a huge information dump right now. I appreciate it. But I just wanted to give you an idea, because there is a lot. This plant is incredible. So like, again, you can build houses out of hemp, and it's fireproof. It's so easy to make. You don't need any machinery to build the houses. So just like mud houses, but you're building it out of something that's much stronger, that's actually controls humidity, is really, really good. So this will be a massive solution for, again, the people over in Uganda with building homes that are clean and obviously really good, strong homes. Obviously you've got hemp wood. You can even build paneling out of it. Again, the plastic out of hemp is like stronger than steel. So in this video, you see somebody hitting this car with a hammer and it doesn't break it. It's just like solid. It's just most profitable crop. So I've got lots of information on this site to actually teach people about hemp, so they can learn about what I've learned. I put it all onto one page, or one place basically, and you can have a good read through all of that. And even about like the processing of hemp, how it's done. So if anybody was just interested in looking at that, a lot of people might not even go that far to look at some of this stuff, but again, this page here, all of this stuff, that wouldn't really be relevant for you guys, because obviously this is just about anybody that can access the money opportunity here in the UK, Europe, States, what have you. But yeah, so that's quite exciting. I don't know what you think about that, Wandera. Does that make a lot of sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense, brother. So I've been looking at this idea. It is a very honest idea, and I welcome it. So, and I should appreciate you for that, brother. This is a good idea that will at least remove Africa and all continents from poverty line. And basically, these African countries that are below the poverty line, people who are below the poverty line will be helped so greatly. Just that the only problem I see is to convince governments of different African countries to see that they can now start differentiating between this product and the other product they take to be used by other people. So that is the only problem I see. But I see it very good, and it is a profitable crop, and it is very good. And I actually assure you that it is the soil here in Africa can help this grow. Therefore, it is a good idea, brother. Welcome it.
Like I say, Uganda, but they're doing the marijuana, so the medical one, which is because the one with the high, which is the drug that actually people smoke to get high, it does have medical benefits, but it is regarded as a Schedule 1 drug still, which is basically putting it into the same category as cocaine, heroin, crack, these other drugs that are highly addictive and can kill you. You can't with medical marijuana, or even with marijuana that people smoke, it's a recreational drug you can't die from. It does have potentially some negative effects for certain individuals, potentially psychologically, that can cause some sorts of psychosis in some people, although that's quite a low percentage. So there is reasons for them to have some wariness about it, but the attitudes are changing around the world. In Thailand, they're now producing it widely, or going to be just getting into it. But again, Asia were very strict on their drug laws. There is going to be that element of the governments at the moment not wanting to necessarily make it easy for people to get into that business, because they want to be the ones that profit from it as the people in government that have the money to start these enterprises. So that's the problem that you've got, I reckon, there. But that's why if we can basically, I mean, it might be a bit of a long shot about the growing of it in the short term, but, you know, for me, you know, I keep an open mind. I believe that, you know, anything is possible, and we focus on that. And then obviously that's how you create. You don't look at things that, you know, reasons why things can't happen. You look at reasons why they can. And then if they happen, they happen. If they don't, maybe it's just not